Some people say, reformers here say, put that man in jail. What does he think he is doing? I'm responding to the will of the people.
The Nero is back. Oh my goodness. I am back with a video that I am genuinely excited for. This in front of me is an exclusive look at the very first phone from the company Razer. I don't even know how it ended up here, but I've heard a little bit about this and I knew as soon as I could get my hands on it, I wanted to, because this is a phone that features something that no other phone has right now. Also, it's the first foray into phones from a company famous for gaming equipment. And more specifically, at least my exposure has been to their gaming laptops, which I have loved. In here is the Razer Phone, 64 gigabytes of internal storage. The battery is 4,000 milliamp hours. Now, you know I'm a battery junkie. 4,000 milliamp hours. From now on, I set the standard. USB Type-C charging cable, USB-C audio adapter. It's got a quick charger in the box. You don't need to buy it extra. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I don't even know how to wink. Does that count? SIM eject tool and important product information guide. Now, some other specs I know for a fact that this thing has 8 gigabytes of RAM. Most excitingly is the display. That's the special feature that no other phone has. Whether you're watching movies in bed, listening to music on your run, or kicking virtual ass on your commute. We're gonna have to bleep that because this is a family show. You need a device that delivers breathtaking visuals, cinematic audio, and the power to last all day. Ooh-wee! It has this aggressive, angular design to it. That is cold. That is cold aluminum. Razer logo on the back here. Dual 12 megapixel cameras at the top. I love a wide angle lens on a regular camera. I love it on a phone as well. Okay, so before I turn this on, I want to prep you with some exact specifications. This device is the first on the planet with a 120 Hz ultra motion display. It's also the world's first phone featuring Qualcomm Quick Charge 4.0 Plus, 8 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, 64 gigabytes UFS of internal storage, and up to 2 terabytes max through micro SD. And all of that is powered up by a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. Okay, I'm gonna put this down for a moment and look at the other items in the box. Ooh, looks like we have some paperwork here, as well as what might be the world's coolest SIM eject tool ever. See that, Jack? The Razer branded SIM eject tool. A little quick start guide, and then also, of course, the Razer stickers to show your pride. Braided USB Type-C cable, Type-C to mini jack adapter. Okay, lastly, we have, I'm guessing, the power brick. Yes, and this is your Qualcomm Quick Charge 4.0 Plus power brick with the Razer branding on it. You're gonna wanna use the included charger to charge up super quick. So here we go, initial boot up. There it is, Razer logo powered by Android. Ooh, nice little Razer animation. So there you have the new 5.7 inch display, a Razer branded setup here, which is nice. My speculation, I guess, was correct. I believe the power switch over here, Jack, can you pick that up? Right there. This is a power switch fingerprint. This is the thing that everybody wanted Apple to do with the 10, so you didn't just have to rely on face unlock. All right, let's check out this fingerprint. Oh. Are you guys hearing that sound effect right now? Well, that's my favorite lock and unlock ever, all time. It's got some games included by default. Titanfall, mobile version, World of Tanks, a racing game. All right, let's check out the settings real quick. Some data about the phone. So here we can see 1.5 gigabytes of 7.5 gigabytes memory used. Android 7.1.1. I've shown you a lot of stuff that's cool, but this to me is the coolest. The display supports 120 Hertz refresh rate. Now you've seen this in gaming monitors. You may have seen it in some tablets, but never in a phone. Now, interestingly, by default, the refresh rate is set to 90 Hertz on the device, but it can go up to 120, so let's go ahead and do it. And what you went, oh my. It's like instant. Now, your eyes aren't gonna pick it up the way mine are because you're watching this, you know, through a video, 24 frames per second, but when you're scrolling a list, no lag at all. Now, of course, you're relying on the processing power of the device as well. But what this means is that the display is just, it has this more responsive attitude, much like if you've ever seen the difference between 120 hertz and 60 hertz monitor. Then that's what this is like, and you feel it when you interact with it. Oh, and for those of you wondering about resolution, out of the box, 1440p, it's at its max. You can toggle that back to FHD 1080p. You know, I just noticed as well, a very stock experience being provided here by Razer. No heavy skin or anything like that. Camera. Jack is curious about the camera. As am I. So let's launch this open right now. Now the implementation on the rear camera, it kind of leaves you guessing a little bit, but that's part of the software, it's the app. At some point during the zoom, you're switching over from the wide angle to the zoom lens to the telephoto lens. As I do so, I'll show you here, you're not really sure where you have switched to a digital zoom. I mean, you can kind of guess. I guess it's about halfway across. This is fully wide. And then as I begin to zoom in, and you can tell that you're optical up into a point, at which point digital zoom takes over. So I kind of wish there was a dedicated button there to just pop into the other lens quickly. You're pinching and zooming like you would otherwise, even on a single lens system. All right, let's try the front one now. Front selfie time. The beard hairs are on full display. I have to say I am satisfied. All right, so we talked about the display and this incredible refresh rate, but of course, a display has to be good at displaying things first and foremost. So let's boot up some YouTube here and see what the video quality looks like. And also at the same time, test out these stereo speakers, which I've been told each unit has its own amp for extra volume.
Let's see what we got. It's a billion iPhone 10 cases!
They might be the best speakers I've heard. I don't know, you guys probably can't tell because they're firing at me. There's a little bass in them, which is kind of crazy to say about a phone. So far, just hearing what I heard on the YouTube video, I think it's gonna be pretty nice. We'll see.
1, 2, 3.
Well, it's the best speaker I've ever heard on a smartphone. That's it. You can tell there's been focus on the low end here because the phone, it kind of vibrates a little bit from the thickness. Everybody else needs to reevaluate. Not only are these speakers loud, but they're just thicker. There's an attention on the lower end, and they didn't over push them either to the point where it's like grinding and chewed up at the high end of the volume. What can I say, guys? I can't hide it. Like, I'm really into this phone. I just like the matte black, the masculine design. The idea of a fingerprint sensor in the power switch, that turns me on. The idea of loud speakers on a smartphone, that turns me on. The idea of the ultra fast refresh rate, that turns me on. I mean, there's just so much cool about this phone that I don't see in other phones. I think the real deal breaker is still gonna be the camera, and I'm gonna use it more extensively. Preliminary results look pretty good so far, but to be quite honest, I rarely will swap out my SIM card when a new phone arrives. This one is instant, it's instantaneous. My SIM card is gonna come out of my Pixel right now, and it's gonna go into this phone. For a company to put out their very first device and hit something like this with no history in the phone game, well done, bravo. That's all I gotta say about it.